ancient cultures knew ley lines, Earth's invisible energy grid that attracts UFOs. Now we know from ancient Greek texts written by Herodotus, Homer, others, that they say that the ancients had spacecraft and the energy they used was the Earth's geomagnetic field. So could these ley lines also have something to do with the temples that were placed on each of these nodes, and they could have been power grids? Now, in the 1920s, an amazing discovery happened according to which all the ancient sites at different locations in the world fell into a sort of alignment. The sacred sites such as Stonehenge, the Egyptian pyramids, and the Great Wall of China as well, all stood in straight lines. An amateur archaeologist, Alfred Watkins, who made the discovery, called these lines ley, L-E-Y, also known as ley lines. Many people believe that a grid of Earth energies circles the globe. The ley line is a straight fault line in the Earth's tectonic plates, which science has not denied. Along these lines, at the places they intersect, there are points of concentrated energy that can be harnessed by certain individuals. Many people claim to have felt the surge of energy to their body, and some of them said to have fainted when the surge was very powerful. Now, I've also uploaded videos concerning, for example, Greek temples that were, of course, constructed on these nodes of the ley lines. So the ancients did know where these nodes of the ley lines were to construct these temples. And they said that the temples had columns. Inside the columns were holes where they poured in molten metal. And that was not only to keep the columns upright during earthquakes, but it was also like an antenna reaching from the earth up to the sky in order to bring up the Earth's energy, the electromagnetic energy of the Earth. And the people that used to pass by those columns or even lean on those columns would feel a health benefit to their, we are also charged of electricity. We have electromagnetic electricity as well. So it's supposedly these temples, as you pass the columns or even stand by or touching the columns, you feel a benefit to your health. So some of these people, they would feel the surge of energy, even today, if you go. Now, did the ancients know about these lines? There is a myth or legend about ley lines in every ancient race and culture. Investigative researcher Darren Perks wrote, Stonehenge on Salisbury Plain took approximately 300 years to build, so it is said, starting about 2000 BC. Why was it built? Why it was built is not known, but what is undeniable is the fact that it lines up with another 5 prehistoric religious landmarks. Stonehenge is a part of a 30-kilometer long ley line. In the United Kingdom, people tended to think that the Druids found these lines, which is not possible. Well, I would disagree with this, because the Druids were following the ancient Greek pagan religion. We know that the ancient Greeks were all over the British Isles. That means that they knew where the ley lines were. Nevertheless, the native Indians in the United States used to call ley lines spirit lines, and their shamans used electromagnetic energy in these lines to help them contact the spirits. They even designed their medical wheel on the spirit lines, their medicine wheel on spirit lines, as they knew that these imaginary lines followed a straight round line. How did they know about these lines and the energies that they were giving off? Well, they say the sky gods told them. Let's remember that the Native Americans around the Great Lakes have ancient Greek Cretan DNA. They even used to speak Greek. And let's remember they always use the Greek key on their headbands, on their dressings. So obviously, where did they know about the Greek keys? Because they had contact with Greeks, because they were their ancestors. So, now going back to the Chinese called ley lines dragon lines, as they believed sky gods flew on dragons along these lines. Further, the Aboriginal people of Australia call these lines dream lines, song line, or dreaming track. Once again, they claim that knowledge was passed on to them from the sky gods. It could have been that these were, of course, their ancestors who had the knowledge and technology of air travel. Now, another surprising theory linked with ley lines suggests that they can give off positive or negative energy. Budget Air Com writes, the location of sacred sites across the world is thought to be interconnected by these lines. These points of intersection can be positive, spiraling in an upward clockwise direction, or negative, spiraling downwards in an anti-clockwise direction. A positive vortex can be found when ley lines meet at a 90-degree angle. These sites are believed to promote good health and a peaceful mental state. In contrast, when a negative imbalanced vortex occurs, lines are said to intersect less positively. These negative energy lines are believed to be draining and able to cause poor health, emotional, energetic, and physical health. The UFO connection. It's even believed that UFOs are drawn to these ley lines, making them attractive to investigators of that particular phenomenon. According to Darren Parks, ley lines could be the refueling spot for UFOs or extraterrestrial craft. He believes they use electromagnetic energy and gyroscopes to power their craft and to navigate using the Earth's own magnetic fields. And let's remember, this is exactly what the ancients of texts of ancient Greece wrote, that they used electromagnetic Earth energy for anti-gravity propulsion. So did the ancient Greeks who wrote these take them out of their minds, out of their imagination? I doubt that. Now, my Mitchell Fold Stone Circle is a location with high UFO activity, as well as animal mutilations. The circle is said to date back to beyond 3000 BC, which means it's far older than Stonehenge. The connection between leys, lines of unknown Earth energies, and UFOs was initially promoted by John Anthony Duncan, Tony Wed, 1919 to 1980. He had read the English translation of Aimé Michel's 1919 to 1992 L'heure sur les soucoupes volontaires. In this, Michel presented a hypothesis that French UFO landing or near landing sites recorded during the 1954 flap fell into a grid of straight lines which he called orthotenies. There is no evidence that Michel was aware of Watkins' ley lines, so Wed seemed to have been the first to spot a potential connection. In Buck Nelson's 1894 to 1982 My Trip to Mars, written in 1956, the author, who claimed to have been abducted by UFOs, said that he had been shown how UFOs navigate by following magnetic currents in the Earth. Wed concluded that Michel's orthotenis and Nelson's magnetic currents were related to Watkins' ley lines. Wed's, in 1961, booklet Skyways and Landmarks, first put forward the idea that the occupants of UFOs used leys for navigation. Like so many in the UFO field at the time, Wed formed an organization, the Star Fellowship, which hoped to make peaceful contact with UFO occupants. The psychic Mary Long, a member of the fellowship, began to talk about lines of force and nodal points, encouraging other members to set about searching for ley lines. Another proof that there is a possibility that ley lines might attract the UFO phenomenon is that most UFO abduction cases happen around these lines. According to an article in UFO Encounters magazine, the Yorkshire Triangle, UFO and paranormal activity happened more frequently where ley lines formed a perfect equilateral triangle. The activity seemed to be drawn to the ley lines as a magnet is drawn to metal. Isn't that something? So obviously the ancients knew something a lot more about Earth's electromagnetic energy having to do with anti-gravity propulsion and the ley lines and the force that they could have used for this interstellar travel. Please leave your comments. Thank you for your support. This is on News 10 Joule 24. Kindly support my Patreon account The daily posts are 5 videos daily, and they are totally different from what I have on my YouTube channel. Thank you so much for your support and that you find all my content so interesting. You'll find the Patreon account details in the description box below.